Sup, Nerdmigos, and the Jive Talking Nerd John Norgrove. We've got Wife here. We're here for another review, Jive. It's whatever the thing we are calling Star Trek Saturdays now, kinda.
Star Trek Saturday Eve,
Star Trek Saturday Eve.
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever the graphic says. I do those after,
it's
obviously.
It's Friday,
yeah.
and that's the day you're watching.
The graphics are physical science that I have to hold up. They're not. Thank the gods.
That would be hilarious.
That would be
if
awful.
They were.
Anywho... so episode 9 of Star Trek Lower Decks came out, and it's amazing.
Yep.
It's called Crisis Point. So quickie, spoiler-free review. This was a great episode, easily one of the best of the series, and if you doubted that cartoons could be serious about character development and stuff like that because you're one of those people, you're shocked now. You're going to be shocked. This was amazing. So definitely go watch this episode. Then you come back here, you watch the spoiler part. Comment below, you let us know what's going on. Like this video, you share this video so it's other people's problems.
Yep.
You subscribe to this channel. You do the things that I'm telling you. You ring the bell.
Ring the bell.
Do the thing. Anywho, so now that that's out of the way, let's move into the spoiler parts of the episode. Fucking Mariner.
Yeah.
Fucking Mariner. So we're just gonna go through like sort of like plot points like we normally do and just kind of go about our business. So this episode cold opens with Mariner like successfully toppling an evil regime. Just full blown. That was who is that? When America displaced their leader, the people in the streets were tearing down his statues. I mean, I guess it's happened like a million fucking times.
You said
but
what America?
Yeah. The specifically the like golf cart, the like Federation golf cart attached to the statue is like a shot reference to a news camera, and it's a truck with a chain attached to some dictator's statue, like pulling it down. Anywho, we've done it a few times. So there was that reference, and so Mariner freed these lizard men from their Rat King captors because they were being ate, and she did a good job. And then of course, the captain of the ship comes down, and it's just like, we're super sorry, everybody can return to normal. There is no revolution. Nobody's free. Federation because says Mariner, we can't intervene.
Yeah, Mariner was breaking the Prime Directive.
Yeah. So, and she's like, and then of course, Mariner's just like, what the fuck, man? And the captain's like, I'm sending you away. And Mariner's just like, what are you gonna send me to the brig? Like, I'm used to that shit. And she's like, no, you're going to counseling, which is fucking hilarious. So she gets like transported out, and the captain, like, it's such a great because there's no answer at the end of it line where the captain's just like, will you stop eating these guys if we give you replicators? And the guy's like, can they make food pellets? And she's like, yes! Intro. Like, it's such a great opening to this episode.
Really
even though it's like, whatever, like fucking a minute less.
Yeah.
It's so good. So we go through the intro, we get to Mariner sitting in front of this counselor who is just the craziest bird person. So, the counselor is voiced by, Paul F. Tompkins, who is the co-host of the Star Trek official podcast or whatever, which is just kind of great that, like, there are other people are being brought into the show like that. And he plays a bird counselor who primarily references food items, which it seems to infuriate literally everybody who talks about him.
And they bring up a pineapple again.
They do. But so for Mariner, he's like, you need to calm down. You got some anger issues. Have you ever tried to make paella? And she flips out, Hulk smashes a very attractive bonsai tree for no fucking reason.
Yeah, the poor bonsai. It did nothing to you.
And it storms the fuck out.
Yeah.
Which is great. So then jump to her and Rutherford and Tendi in the holodeck with Leonardo da Vinci. No, Boimler's not in yet. First was Leonardo da Vinci, just like firing off shotguns, like shooting clay pigeons, which is great. Again, solid reference to like Voyager. Ton of Captain Janeway's like go-to like counselor for problems was Leonardo da Vinci, which is awesome. He's hilarious in this, by the by. And so Boimler shows up and is like, I gotta practice for an interview, because of course he does. So like everybody get the fuck out, and they're like, no, what? And so Boimler brings up this program that he wrote where he somehow got access to everybody's personal
like
journals for the last 6 years, and put it in the computer, so it's a perfect replica of every crew member of the ship, so he can test out interviews.
And not only are they replicas of the crew and the ship, but they also predictively act like the person.
Yeah,
based on all of that personal data.
The computer did a bunch of like compiling and stuff like that for it. Which is great. I love, again, throwaway lines in this episode are some of the best, where Rutherford's just like, "How you doing, sir?" And the chief of security's just like, "Shut up, I'm angry." And he's like,
"Don't talk to me, I'm angry."
It's so accurate. I had this conversation like an hour ago with him, or whatever.
It's so good.
Rutherford is a fucking sweetheart. I love him. I'm increasingly thinking that I want to cosplay Rutherford. Yeah. Plus, whatever. He's got a dope cyborg implant.
He does.
But Mariner gives him the business for it, and then takes control of the holodeck by, in about 5 minutes, coding an entire movie.
Yeah.
So she codes an entire movie. Credit scroll, and that's a Wrath of Khan credit scroll. I think it's a Wrath of Khan credit scroll. Yeah, that's a Wrath of Khan credit scroll.
So while the credit scroll is happening, they're asking Mariner questions about, what she did, and they're just kind of chit-chatting. But they have to keep dodging the text,
credits, the
actual words.
They're like, ooh, and she's just like, she's dodging them.
And like Boimler's just not dodging him, and he's just like getting hit and stuff. It's pretty great.
I love where Tendi and Rutherford are both just like, "Oh, this is gonna be great," and Mariner's like, "We're gonna go get in costumes," and then they just walk off screen, which, like, in my mind, just outside of what we were perceiving as screen, is just like an open hole to like a dressing room to get in costume before the next scene,
something like that.
It's
or there's
great.
just like a replicator. Maybe.
The holodeck when you have multiple people in the holodeck. What it does is it basically, like, if we're interacting like this, it'll make this room as a holographic program. But like if I'm in the living room, to save space, right? If I'm further away, what it'll do is it'll replicate this room for you and it'll replicate the living room for me, and it's because you're not actually stepping on the ground, you're on like holographic treadmill, for the lack of better words, right? I might not be moving once I walk out that door, and you might be seeing an image of where I am in the living room, but once I walk through the door, I'm on the treadmill again. So that way we're not walking that far away. So, I mean, clearly there's some, like, holodeck, like, seclusion shit going on, but I love that they just walked off camera. It's that irreverent, self-awareness, fourth wall shit that I expect from this show, and it always delivers on.
Yeah.
But so they get in costume. Boimler gets the opening scene for this movie is Boimler getting dumped into a lake because the command crew, the bridge crew, are on
jet skis,
but they call them water scooters, like, or some absurd thing like that.
But they're jet skis, and they're like,
well, I think the
"Happy
whole
birthday,
jet ski thing
Captain!" And she's like, "This is a serious science mission." I'm just like, "Okay."
Yeah. So she
and Boimler is trying to ask questions about this interview, but he's not trying to ask questions to like, mimic the interview, but questions so that he thinks he can get ahead in the interview.
He is brown,
he's like, "Hey, Captain, do you think it would be better to get for an officer to be at the bridge early or to stay late?" And the captain's like, "I think if you're asking me that question, you're asking the wrong question." So these things happen throughout the entire holodeck movie that's happening.
Boimler is non-participatory,
like the most ridiculous brown-nosing, like kind of like favor-based,
how can you suck up to the boss?
And it's just a series of these questions not being resolved in the way that he wants them to be, it's hilarious.
Good. Holy shit!
Meanwhile,
whole
everybody else is having like fun participating in said story.
Yeah, in the beginning, at least. So basically, like they're there, then it's like, "Oh, we gotta go on our mission now." So they go on their mission. They're on Earth. They're talking to the Admiralty. He calls Boimler a boy. Whose boy is this? It's the fucking best thing of all time. Good. But so they're like, somebody's pretending to be Starfleet. Go out there and check it out. And then the captain's like, that sounds like a great idea. We're gonna send the Cerritos. She just got a bunch of work done, and then you're on one of the main star bases, which I feel bad not knowing the name off the top of my head. But
I'm surprised.
I should. I have a headache. But so we get the standard issue in every Star Trek movie, shuttlecraft flyby ship scene, which first of all is like long enough where it's funny. And then, like, a little not funny, and then very funny again. Yeah. Because it goes on for so long, and the crew's just like, it's so beautiful.
Yeah, the chief of engineering is like...
They're, like, crying on each other.
Crying. As you're going through, it's like the pans of you know, of the ship.
Exterior shots of the ship.
In, like, all the money shots that you
all
see.
the money shots,
in
all
every
of them.
Star Trek
it's
movie.
It's so long,
and
it's so beautiful.
There's so many lens flares. It's all lens flares.
It's so beautiful. I'm going to be real with you. Teared up a little the first time I saw it. It's beautiful. I love flyby scenes in Star Trek episodes. Yeah. Or in Star Trek movies. They're the fucking best. So we get through the flyby scene, we get onto the bridge, and it's full-blood Star Trek 2009 J.J. Abrams verse fucking Star Trek.
Lens flares, and everything's shiny.
Everything's coated in a thin film of chrome. Yeah. Just shine. Like her hair, the chairs.
Particles of the air.
Yeah, air is great. I love that somebody had to animate lens flare into a cartoon. That's like a level of absurdity that I'm enjoying a great deal.
Yeah, it's pretty fantastic.
So they get to their destination, and like the most hardcore looking Klingon bird of prey decloaks. Yeah. And it's Mariner who's playing Vindicto, and she has her like pirate sidekick Tendi, and Tendi's just like, yeah, I'm a pirate, taking things from people and not returning them. Like she's real uncomfortable with this.
Pirate warlord.
But she's looking real fucking good in that pirate outfit of hers. I vote all Starfleet goes to pirate outfits. That's my vote. Can we do pirate outfit Starfleet? That's over here. Let's do that. And Rutherford plays some half-man, half-machine murder monster, and then we get introduced to the character that she had originally programmed Boimler for, whose name I don't remember, but is just this, like, dopey buffoon who's just like, I was supposed to be played by Boimler. Like, he's just like this, like, sort of dopey buffoon. Literally,
because Boimler isn't really participating.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's on the Cerritos just, like, interrupting shit. Yeah. But, and then, of course, the next scene is, like, her, like, threatening the captain and talking to her and all this kind of stuff. And the Boimler stand-in character is like, your tea? And, like, hands her a cup of tea, and it's coffee. And she, like, spits it out and throws it on the ground. Voyager reference again. And then just, because Janeway's a coffee fan. And then just, like, vaporizes him with her phaser. And then she starts... And then he's gone. And then she starts quoting Shakespeare.
Yeah, she starts quoting The Tempest.
Which is fucking, again, solid references. Bad guys quoting Shakespeare in Star Trek. Yeah. Come to find out it's a recording. Secretly, they launched a ship, drill in through the hull, and then, crash land the ship. We get our capes are not efficient scene as she's trying to, like, walk away, and the cape got closed in the ship door. Yeah. In the intercept ship door.
Yeah, so at this point, Mariner and Rutherford and Tendi are in the Cerritos.
They're on the Cerritos, just like a few decks below or whatever.
Phasing everyone. Man, they are just
vaporizing.
Vaporizing everyone.
Tendi is gently participating, and Mariner has fully gone insane. The moment she steps on that ship, right before overacting, bad guy, Star Trek, whatever. That's fine. She gets on the ship, and she's just like, she has this phaser gun that's got like 4 emitters on the sides and 1 in the center, and she's just fucking murdering crew members. Like, real dark. Also, I don't know if you caught this. I didn't catch it the first watch through, but the second one I did. When the ship lands, that like, Jackson, I loved your comedy routine. It was great, or whatever the heck.
Yeah, the one-man show thing.
The one-man show thing. As they're leaving, that thing just punches those fuckers into the ground. There's an arm and a leg sticking out the whole time in the background.
I saw that.
It's fucking hilarious.
And the one-man show was referenced in the episode. That's actually referenced back from inside.
They keep talking about this guy's one-man show.
Yeah, and in particular, it was last mentioned when Mariner was made like an officer.
Oh, yeah. You have to attend so-and-so's one-man show. Yeah. It's mind-blowing or whatever the fuck. Yeah. Which is great. They're referencing themselves now.
Reference. Yeah, super meta.
So she's, like, murdering a bunch of people. The first officer comes down, and like he does his like standard issue, like this isn't my first overpowered like space pirate fight before. I got this. And then they're trying to give their back and forth, and he is being 100% first officer in Starfleet, and she is just like, what are you, the captain's little whipping boy? Blah, blah, just like giving him shit, super fucking rude. And so he goes to deliver his line, like, you know, you can talk the talk, but can you walk the walk? And like ducks around to fire at her, and she faces him in the chest. And he's just like, she can walk the walk. And Boimler rushes over and it's just like, before you die, do you think the captain would like it if I baked her cookies?
So good.
So the first officer dies whilst telling Boimler yes on the cookies, but she's allergic to something, but he doesn't say what it is.
Because he gets phased.
Because he gets phased again and vaporized. And then Rutherford finds out that the chief of engineering is there, and so he decides, he's like, I'm gonna go talk to my boss because I never get to talk to him like the way that I want to, so I'm gonna go. And he just fucking leaves. Out.
Yeah.
New B plot, not part of the new plot, not part of the main plot. So, whilst Tendi and Mariner are murdering through the ship, Rutherford goes down to engineering. They kind of get like trapped in engineering, him and the boss, and he basically like has kind of like a weird like pseudo heart-to-heart moment.
Yeah.
For right now, it's just like kind of, it's like a gentle, like a little bit of confidence building sort of heart-to-heart moment. And then we get back to Tendi and Mariner, where they're now in the 10 forward. They're now in the bar basically, and Mariner uses a Borg head to create a shield so that way they don't get blasted with phasers, and then throws that Borg head at the chief security officer, where it blows up. Just spraying them with blood.
Yeah.
Which is fucking gruesome. And then she grabs his little like earring thing, right? And is like, oh, Tendi, you should like totally take this. With the thing. Every time.
Every time.
Every time with the thing. Just wait patiently. Moment of zen.
There we go.
There we are. Anywho, so she's like, Tendi, like, you people are pirates, you should wear this earring. And she's like getting in Tendi's face, and Tendi snaps.
Yeah, Tendi is done.
She's full like, blood done. It's just like, it has been at least 5 years where some of us are not pirates. Like, this is bullshit. I don't feel comfortable with any of this. And Mariner's just like, no, it's fine. It's a holodeck. It's cool.
But like, your people are pirates. And Tendi's like, you don't know me. I'm out. And then just like straight up leaves the holodeck.
Mariner suggests that they go and find the cat doctor and torture her. And Tendi is just like, fuck you, sir. And so Tendi's like, Arch, out. And then Mariner gets to the bridge. She gets in a big fight with the captain.
But it's all very much about like her issues.
Oh, she's just like, her mom. Why do you think I'm always the bad guy?
The captain is like, I don't know you.
Yeah,
who are
captain
you?
has no clue that
because
she is
she's like
who
a bad
is.
guy and in the situation. So Mariner's really trying to like work out all of her issues with her mom in this fight.
Insofar as by murdering
the
her.
Captain.
Yeah.
And then the holodeck Mariner comes out and starts basically fighting.
Mariner initiates the fight with the captain by blowing up her ship, detonating the warp core remotely. So that way it causes the Cerritos to crash in a beautiful reference to Star Trek Generations and a great many other Star Trek ships where the main ship, or Star Trek movies where the main ship crashes. Yeah. But so it crashes on a planet, pinwheels around, you know, thank God for... thank God for like gravity controls and stuff, right? And like rolls to a stop. While that is happening, Rutherford has saved the entire crew by firing off like a repeating transporter algorithm to transport everybody away onto a mountain or whatever, and then has this like touching moment again with the chief of engineering, just like, I did this, and he's like, oh, I can't believe you did that, that's great, and he's like, you taught me, and he's just like, yeah, sure. And then they beam away with the rest of the crew.
Rutherford is still dressed
he's a bad
like
guy.
A space warlord.
Nobody knows who he is, right? So then Mariner and the mom fight a little bit, and then on-ship Hollow Mariner shows up, and emergency transports her mom away, and it's just like, I'm gonna kick your fucking ass now. It's hammer time. And so Mariner gets to fight herself in just about the most efficient and darkest possible way you can perform psychiatric help. She's just like, you're just doing it because you have to. And just, a lot of dark shit is said, really beats the ever-living shit out of herself.
Yeah.
And of course, while all this is happening, back on, back with the crew on this, like, mountainside, Rutherford has this, like, touching moment with his boss, where his boss is just like, you might be, like, a psychotic space pirate man who just blew up his ship and wrecked my ship, but, like, you're super awesome, like, I really enjoy working with you. And he's like, yeah, I just want to be able to do this to the ship, and I just want to be able to fix things and stuff. And the chief engineer gives him a hug, and it's just like, maybe we just run away together, just the two of us. We can get a ship, and we can realign the phase coils however we want,
whenever we want,
and we can fix the warp core on our time. And Rutherford's just like, I never thought you'd say that to me. I love you. Like,
it's so cute.
So heartwarming. Holy shit, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Right? This is all happening. At the same time that this happens, Boimler, God bless his tiny little heart, bakes some chocolate chip cookies and then presents them to the captain. Hey, Captain, before I go meet real you, I baked these chocolate chip cookies. I want to make sure that you like these chocolate chip cookies that I baked. It goes to present them, and
turns out the captain's allergic to chocolate.
And so Chad, or whatever his name is, the ensign that everybody loves. That's we've met him before. He's the best one ever.
But like a nearby guy
tackles Boimler, and it's just like, it's an assassin.
Yeah.
And they proceed to pick him up and throw him off a cliff. That's how they handle it. This is like the most un-Starfleet way of doing it. And of course, the captain in the background's like, that's how you become a go-getter. Good for you. Yeah. And this guy's just like, fuck this guy. Just yeets him off a cliff. It's fucking fantastic.
So again, with Boimler not getting the praise that he's
not understanding what he's doing.
And someone else getting that praise because of Boimler's ridiculous actions.
Poor, sweet man Boimler.
Yeah.
But so that happens. Obviously, we jump back to Mariner, and Mariner and Hollow Mariner have fought. Hollow Mariner's like at her last end at the end of the hallway, and Mariner's just like, you don't love this ship, you don't love anybody, like, this is bullshit, blah 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 blah. And Mariner's like, if I didn't love the ship, I didn't love all these people, why would I have been distracting you long enough for everybody to escape so I can self-destruct this ship? It's going off in like 2 seconds. Fucking ship self-destructs. Hollow program ends. Mariner's swept in fire before it ends. Boimler is plummeting hilariously to the earth before it ends. And Rutherford was just getting like a sweet hug because he's a nice man.
Yeah.
And so that's the end of it. And of course, like, that ends, and immediately Mariner's just like, holy shit, I do love the Cerritos. I do love the warp core. I do love all these people. Like therapy actually works, and like runs off, right? And and then like Boimler and Rutherford leave also, and then we get like the last scene is
kind of like a post credits.
Well, no. But before that is the
like
bar scene.
Oh yeah.
That was I first was like, and then next Boimler goes back in, and then I was like, wait a minute, there's the bar thing where she resolves it.
Yeah.
So Mariner goes to the bar and basically is like, hey Tendi, listen, I'm sorry, I acted totally uncool, my bad. She's like super open about like I'm sorry about that, whatever. And Tendi's just like, listen, I get it, it's cool. Like, I'm just not one of those kind of Orions. Like, thanks. And then we get, which wraps up the Tendi Mariner beef, and then we get Rutherford sees the chief of engineer sitting alone at a booth eating a bowl of like just liquidy soup.
Gruel?
Yeah, I thought it was just
really
like chicken noodle soup without chicken
like
or noodles. It's like broth. He's eating just like broth. But Tendi is like, you should go over there and talk to him. And Rutherford's just like, no, man. Like, he's so cool. Like, look at him over there. Just stone cold gangster. Like, that guy, he has it all in line. I don't want to bug him with my problems.
Just, like, he looks so sad
then
and
it cuts
alone.
over to him as he's just, like, sitting there, like, just sadly eating soup. It's so heartbreaking. Jesus Christ, somebody hug this man. I just want to give the chief engineer a hug.
Yeah.
And then like, they're heading to the warp core. They decide, like, we're gonna go watch the warp core. So they decide to head off to the warp core, and Mariner runs into her mom, the captain, and the captain is like, hey, listen, or the captain's like, what are you guys doing? And she's like, oh, we're gonna look at the warp core. And then Mariner pulls her mom aside and is like, hey, listen, man, I acted uncool earlier. I'm super sorry about that. Like, we're good, right? And like gives her mom a little knuckles, and then
And then
what does she call her? See you later, later, skater. Yeah, which is hilarious.
And then it cuts to the mom in therapy with the bird guy who talks about food. And she's like, later, skater? What does that mean?
I know she's planning something.
And he's like, I can't tell you. And she's like, you tell me. So she's like throwing a fit. Very Mariner.
Yeah, very Mariner.
Or is Mariner very much like her mom? I mean, they're really both
It's the same thing,
alike. Yeah.
And the counselor is like, well, you're acting a little bit like a pineapple. And she like flips the fucking table and she's like, again with the fruit! Like, I'm done with it. End of episode. Now, there is a post-credit scene that's like, whatever, like, not fully post, but...
Well,
it's after the artsy credits.
Yeah, the last scene is like... so there's like artsy credits,
like
and then
cursive credits.
Yeah, and then we're back in the holodeck, part of the simulation movie thing.
Yeah,
and it's very much
Boimler
like
asked to continue the program, right?
Yeah,
computer continue.
And it's very much like end credits, mid credits type scene.
Yeah, well,
kind of stuff.
yeah, and so he goes in to basically bug the captain again, and he's like, "Oh, Captain, I need to," and like everybody's quietly like standing around. And he's like, "Oh, you're doing something. Like I'll catch up later." And the captain's giving the eulogy for Mariner because in the holodeck logic, Mariner sacrificed herself to kill the bad guy and save the whole crew. And this is where she admits that Mariner is her daughter, and that if anybody found out, it would have been awful. And she's like, I'm probably so pissed I just court-martial him and kick him out of the Federation. And Boimler has what I'm only imagining is like a massive full-brain stroke. Because he shuts down being a person, walks the fuck out of that, goes to his interview, and just botches it, man. She's like, where do you see yourself negotiating in 5 years? And he's just like, and she's like, just say the first word that comes to your mind. And he's like, Mariner? And she's like, what about Mariner? And he's like, she's hot? She's hot? And she's like, what? And he's like, I mean, she's disgusting. I don't know. And he just like trips over the chair and runs out. Yeah. And she's like, didn't prepare for his interview. That guy. End of episode. Which is fucking hilarious, right?
Yeah.
So next week is episode 10. Episode 10 is the season finale. Now, when we're done, once this ends, we're immediately going to transition over to Star Trek Discovery. We will do, again, week by week episode reviews and recaps and breakdowns for Star Trek Discovery. If there are other Star Trek things you want us to watch and do, please let us know. I will always watch more Star Trek. I've seen all of it, 100%. Read a bunch of the books. But yeah, this was a great episode. This is a great show. I'm glad that the season finale is coming up because it means that we're going to get a bunch of dope stuff. But I'm kind of heartbroken because I don't want it to end and I just want more of this.
I'm mostly heartbroken.
Mostly fucking more. This show is so good. Holy shit, dude. I haven't been this excited about Star Trek in a long time to watch it week to week. And this is a fantastic show.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, this is easily one of my favorite episodes. It's a fantastic show. But yeah, what did you think? What's your favorite part? Who's your favorite character? Oh, no, wait a minute. There's one more post-credit scene. I forgot about this until the second watch through. It's a reference to the Star Trek, Star Trek 3. There's like a torpedo tube in like a jungle scenario and the door opens and Mariner like, Vindicta returns! And holodeck Da Vinci shoots her in the chest with a shotgun and it's like, not under my watch! So that happened also, I totally forgot about that. But I think holodeck Da Vinci with a shotgun is maybe my favorite character in this episode.
I mean, he's pretty good.
He's great, man. I want Da Vinci with a shotgun everywhere. So, either way, I've been John Norcroft. This has been Wife. This is Review Jive. We watched Lower Decks episode 9, Crisis Point. Don't forget to like this video, comment below, share, subscribe, do all that kind of stuff. Let us know what you think. Are you looking forward to Discovery? I am looking forward to this newest season of Discovery. And on a scale of 1 to heartbroken, how heartbroken are you that Lower Decks is going to end?
And more importantly, in fact, most importantly,
I don't know about most.
What would be your holodeck therapy?
Oh, yeah, that is most important.
Yeah.
Comment below your holodeck therapy thing.
Yeah.
If we have enough, we will have a bigger discussion about this.
Mine would be just laying on a tropical beach. That's I mean, that's super simple, but like hopefully it's like a cool spacey tropical beach with like planets that you can see all big like, and not just like a standard Earth tropical beach, but mine's just laying on
So hers is just laying on a tropical beach. For me, it's being in space, just being in open space, looking at some stuff, meditatively floating in zero gravity with nothingness around me. Because that's crazy, I guess.
A little bit.
Yeah. I was compared to Thanos as I described it yesterday.
Well, you described it differly yesterday.
I described it with a great deal of detail yesterday. We won't
and
get
it
into
sounded
that.
exactly like where Thanos goes after the snap. So
I guess, man, but he goes to a planet, and I'm talking about just like a platform in space that I can stand on and just like look at shit. Like, look at those stars. Ain't that pretty? And just stand there. It's meditative. Anywho, we'll catch you guys fucking next time.